Hey guys, Mr. Waltz here. I'm going to show you how to do the drawing here for the block. Um, so I'm going to go to the design, drawing from design, top left, and full assembly is fine. Create new template. We don't want from scratch. We want our WPHSA. And then remember, if you can't find it, it should be here. If you can't find it, hit browse, and you can go to up here, go to assignments in the IID period 4, spring 2022. And it lives there. Okay, but it should pop up on your template list. Then you hit OK. It's going to pop up a brand new, fresh drawing, and we're going to put our base view in. And so you can see it showing the front view here with the holes. And what we want to do is we want to use up the paper. So I played around with this. The good scale for this is 1:2 or half size, and then you can just pop that view right in there. Make sure that this is on visible and hidden edges. We do want to see hidden lines in this. Then we're going to do our projected views. This one, this is what we call a prismatic shape. It's just the same shape all the way through. We can just get away with two views. So we're going to do this view, which I guess technically would be a bottom view. And then let's do an isometric up here in the top right. And then we can hit green check mark. On the view up here in the top right, let's go ahead and double click it and shade it. Make sure you don't choose shaded with hidden edges. We don't want hidden edges in isometrics. And then we got our two views. So we'll do this view first. This one's pretty easy. This one, we just need center lines, and we can do like one dimension in here. So I'm going to click center line, click on the two hidden lines, and it'll make that line. And then when I go to this hole, I can do both edges there, and it makes one line, but it doesn't go all the way to the top. So what I can do is just click on these other edges, and it'll add on to it. Same thing down here. I can start with the top, those two edges, and then finish, go on the bottom, those two. Same deal over here. Click all those vertical edges, and you get these nice center lines. Great. We're going to put one dimension in this view, so we're going to go D for dimension. We're just going to dimension the height of the block here. We'll just leave that right there. That looks good to me. All the other dimensions we'll put in the front. First thing we want to do is center line. So we're going to do center mark tool right here. Click center mark, and just click on all of the biggest circles, and it'll put the center marks on them. Now, we have these holes here. They're all in a row. And so we want to show the person that's looking at the drawing that that's happening. Helps them understand what we did. So if you use the center line tool, you can click on these horizontal lines here, and it will join them together. And that's how we do this in engineering, to show that holes are aligned with each other. Okay, there we go. Cool. So now we got all our center lines in there, and everything's set up. It's ready to dimension. We're going to do the easy dimensions first, which are the normal height, width, and depth type stuff and location, and then we'll do our fancy hole dimensions last. D for dimension. I'm going to click the bottom edge of the part, and then I'm going to click the center line, and then move over. And you'll notice what it does is it placed that one outside. It didn't have room in between. Also, because I clicked on the bottom line first and the center line second, it put the number on that side. If I had clicked on the center line first and then the bottom edge, it would have put the number on the bottom, but I want it there. And then I'm going to do the overall. So I'll go to the top edge here, and then the bottom edge, and then come over here. And this is kind of too close together. It looks like it says 1/2 or 12. So I'm going to move this out a little bit like that. Okay, so those dimensions are good. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to locate all the holes. So here I know, the height here, and I know where the holes go vertically, but I need to know everything horizontally. So I'm going to go over here to the left edge, and I'm going to click on the center line here. Make sure you don't get the point. You don't want the point. You want the whole line right there. Boom. And then same here, get the point, and then bring it down. This is a little too close. I'm going to go a little further about there. Okay. And then I just keep doing this. I click on that center line and that center line, and then bring it down. Now you want to line these up. I'll show you how to line these up precisely. I'm going to put them in sloppy on purpose, and it'll make it easier to line them up later. For some reason, they're not lining up automatically. There's no easy way to get it to do that, but I show you a hack here in a second. So I just keep going, and I'm just putting these dimensions in. And so that gives me my whole spacing. You could do a 3x 1.5, just dimension one of them and do that, but it's pretty easy to dimension all three, so I just did it. Now, let me show you how to line them. So I want to line these up. I'm going to hit escape first. I'm going to click on the 1.5. I'm going to grab that dot in the center. So I'm dragging that. And what I can do, if I go over here and find a point on the other dimension, like the point of the arrow, and then come back to the middle, it'll actually snap that into place. Okay. So click on the number you want, drag it over to the other number or the other arrowhead, and then go slide it back. It'll track and go back in the middle, and you can get these perfectly lined up, and it looks cool. This is the kind of stuff where, like, if you send your stuff to a machine shop and it's not perfectly lined up, they're not going to be mad at you. But if you do it so it looks pretty, they'll be impressed, and it shows that you know what you're doing, and you care about your work, you care about quality. Um, Last thing we need the overall width here. So D for dimension, click the left edge and the right edge, and then I'm just going to drag this down and place that below. So now I know the dimensions of the block. I know where all the holes go. The last thing I got to do is tell them how to make each hole. So if you do dimension, this is the wrong way. You click on this, all it's going to give you is the diameter. It's not going to give you any information about your counterbore, countersink, depth, etc. So the tool we use here is this one. It's called hole and thread note. If it's not showing up on your toolbar, you can click text, and it's down there, hole and thread note, and it will show all that information. So I'm going to go down here on this hole and click, and then just come up here, and you can see it's giving me a leader. I'm going to put the leader about there, and you can see it tells me the diameter, 0.5, and that it's a through hole. Yay. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. Let's click there. We'll go up here. I'm going to put it up a little bit. This is going to be a pretty tall note, so I want to leave a bit of a room. And so that tells me, you can see there's my hole, 0.38 diameter, depth 2, counterbore diameter 0.75 to a depth of 0.5. And yeah, it does it automatically. You notice here I angled these two leaders. You want to try to angle them the same. Again, it makes it look good, uniform, clean design. Shows that you are paying attention to what you're doing and not making sloppy crap. I'm going to click over here, do this one. If I went left, I would start running out of room. So I got lots of room on the right. So I'm going to make this one. You can see as you move it, it'll point either left or right. I'm going to make this one point right. This one's going to be pretty tall. I don't want to put it down here. I'm going to put it up a little bit. And then, once you place them, if you don't like where it is, hit escape, click it, grab that dot, and then you can move it to wherever you want. All right. And you can even do, like we did before where you're lining them up, etc. But just try to, don't crowd the other dimensions. That looks solid. And then one more, hole and thread note right there, click there. And I'm going to come up here, kind of keep the same angle. Don't go too low or they'll run into each other. I'm going to put a little above. This looks pretty good. Try to keep the same angle. That's pretty badass. Okay. Pardon my French. Anyways, you can see we got everything done. We've got the size and location of all of our features, our blocks, our holes. Everything looks good. At that point, you save it. I think it's just going to call it block drawing. Well, that's laggy. Why are we lagging here? Waiting on the network. Block drawing. Make sure it's in your folder because I may have to go in there and grade it. So now we need to get something to turn in. So we're going to communicate this to other people. So we're going to make a PDF. So go up here to your PDF export button, hit that. It'll say all sheets, and you can just say OK and save it. In your downloads is where it'll go. Now, if you're working on a Chromebook, it won't let you get the file. So what you can do is, wait till you're in class, get a computer in class, and you can get the file. That's one of the limitations of the Chromebook version of Fusion. So that's it for this project. Hope you had fun. Good luck. See ya.